Hi, how are we? Our learning target says I can determine the center and radius of a circle when given an equation of the circle. And for this video, we have a second learning target. It says I can graph a circle when given an equation of the circle. So we have two learning targets. And we're going to begin with a little warm-up exercise for this video. It says, what is the equation of a circle whose center is -5, -2, and has a radius of 7? So before you do this warm-up, you should watch the previous video if you haven't watched it yet, because you will not be able to answer this question if you have not watched that video. This video follows that previous video, which was titled Writing the Equation of a Circle. Okay, so we want to write the equation of a circle whose center is -5, -2, and has a radius of 7. So let's begin with the standard equation of a circle. It's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H and k represents the center, and r represents the radius. So we know that h is -5, k is -2, and r is 7. So if I substitute in here, which is what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to substitute for h with -5. I'm going to substitute for k with -2. And I'm going to substitute for r with 7. What do I get when I simplify the signs and the radius squared? Well, that subtracting a negative will turn this into x plus 5. And this will turn into y plus 2. And 7 squared is just 49. So this is the final answer. Okay, think about it. What happened to the signs of h and k when you put it into the circle equation? So when you put -5 into the circle equation, that turned it into a plus 5, right? The subtraction sign from the equation turned that -5 into plus 5. And when you put that -2 into the circle equation, the subtraction sign changed it into a plus 2. Well, that's because the subtraction sign is just going to negate, and negate means just change the sign or give it the opposite meaning. So that's what happened. So to answer this question, what happened to the signs of h and k when you put it into the circle equation, we're going to say the signs changed. What happened to the radius when you put it into the equation? Well, the radius got squared, and that's how we got this 49 over here. So we're going to say, what happened to the radius? It got squared. We can also say it was multiplied by itself. That's what squaring means. So it was not multiplied by 2, okay? That's a common mistake of students. Multiplying by 2 and squaring is not the same thing. All right, so keep these two things in mind. Keep these two things in mind because we're going to keep coming back to this. Now it says, give the center and radius of the circle given the equation. So what do we know? We know that this is the result of someone plugging into the circle equation formula. And so we know that the signs of h and k got changed. So the center is going to be -5, -2. And then this 49 is the result of someone putting 7 into the formula. So that 7 got squared, and that's how they got that 49. So the radius is 7. And what you have to do is just take the square root of 49, and that's how you get the 7. So to extract the center and radius from the circle's equation, simply change the signs of h and k and take the square root of r squared. Let's try another one. Give the center and radius of the circle given the equation. So change the signs of h and k. So here's h. Whoops, that should be lowercase. And here is k. Whoa, what's wrong with me? It's supposed to be a k. And here is r squared. So if we want the center, we got to change the signs of h and k. So the center is -3, positive 8. And to get the radius, we got to take the square root of r squared. So the radius is the square root of 32. Which you can also simplify this. Radical 32 is equal to, what's that equal to? 4 radical 2. Give the center and radius of the circle given the equation. So there's no h and k, so it turns out that h and k is actually 0. So we're going to say the center is 0, 0. So when you just see x squared by itself, y squared by itself, that means the center is at the origin, 0, 0. To get the radius, we have to take the square root of 36. That's equal to 6. So the radius is 6. Okay, lastly, how can we graph a circle given its equation? So here we have the equation of a circle, and we want to graph it. Well, first we got to find the center. So we know the center is 3, -2, because we got to change the signs of h and k. Then we got to find the radius. We know the radius is 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to plot the center. So I'm going to say plot the center. So the center is 3, -2. That will be right here. And then we're going to draw a line representing the radius. So plot the center, draw a line representing the radius. So I know the radius is 4, so I could count 4 boxes, either up, down, left, or right. So I'm just going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know the radius is right there. That's the radius of the circle. Let me get rid of that arrow there. And then I can just make a circle from using this center and then using that endpoint for my radius. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out a circle from here. And I'm just going to extend it to the endpoint of that line. And that's my circle. That's how you do it. Okay, hope this video helps. Take care.